Hello and welcome to iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. This is Uncut XCOM 2. It's just you, me, some gameplay, and today we are taking on the ADVENT Blacksite, the first one to pop up in our playthrough, and we're going in and we're going to take this bad boy out. We're going to do whatever it takes to bring it down. Alright, now this was hands down the most difficult mission I have ever played in XCOM 2 thus far, right? It took, first of all, it took me multiple tries. Okay, I attempted this mission maybe 15 different times. Like from start to finish, I tried it 15 different times, and that's not an exaggeration. It's ridiculous. It was just so difficult. It's an incredibly long mission. So we're looking at about 40 minutes here, okay? But it was crazy. It was crazy. But either way, let's get into it. Starting off the match, moving Brian Arnold into position. But you know, the thing is, because I'd done this mission so many different times and I'd reloaded several different versions of this mission, I kind of knew where the enemies were a little bit. So there was a little bit less surprise for me going into this. So I kind of already knew where I had to go, sort of, because I was reloading a previous save that I'd lost on multiple times. But you know, it's okay. It's okay, because you know it didn't take away from the actual gameplay experience, because I wasn't reloading like, oh, I would take a shot and then I missed the time to reload. I wasn't doing that. I was reloading the mission from scratch. So I wasn't being a bad person and a bad player, but you know something, because the thing is, I reload a save if I completely lose, right? And because that's what you do when you lose completely, you reload. You know what am I gonna just let the world get taken over? No, I'm gonna reload the last save. It's like what was it, Edge of Tomorrow, that movie with Tom Cruise where the aliens, and it kept going back in time. It was like Groundhog Day, but with aliens, and they were trying to take over the world. Doesn't matter. I think it was the movie. I think that was the movie, Edge of Tomorrow. It was a good movie though, either way. So what we're doing right now is we have to get to, because we didn't get to listen to Central, but what we have to do is we have to get into the actual black site. Right now we're on like the outskirts of the black site, and we have to get into it, and we have to retrieve a vial, and then we have to get to the evac zone, right? And it's very far away. They put you really far away from this thing, and you start off in concealment, which is good, so you do have a small advantage against the first pod that you encounter, which is always a nice thing. And here we go. We're getting a little visual glitch here, but that's fine. XCOM 2 has some glitches in it. Every game has some glitches in it, some more than others. It hasn't bothered me, and none of the actual bugs and glitches in XCOM 2 have bothered me. They haven't really affected how I play the game. So we're just gonna ignore that. I'm gonna leave it in though, because this is uncut mostly. Okay, so we have the first pod, the first pack of enemies. It's just a stun lancer and a viper, so that's not really too difficult to handle. It's dangerous, right? Because you know, if you see the viper when you wake up in the morning, that's not the first thing you want to see. And the stun lancer is ridiculous, right? It can turn a good mission into a completely ridiculous mission, because he'll just start parkouring and just completely. That was a bad shot. I kind of had a feeling that was gonna miss because I was shooting at the floor, and it did miss, and that could be bad for me. That could be bad for me, because now the patrol, the pod, they see me, and I'm gonna take my Overwatch shots, but Overwatch is finicky at best, you know, because a lot of times it misses. Sometimes you get a graze. It doesn't. That ambush didn't go as well as I hoped it would have gone. So now we have a viper and a stun lancer, kind of right up in my grill, and you know, things are turning south. I'm getting bound up. Yeah, he's crying for the med kit already. Stun lancer just running up, doing his parkour. He spotted my other unit that was in concealment. She had this is my ranger unit. She has a special. One of her perks is she can remain in concealment even after the rest of the group gets revealed, which is really cool. But I didn't get to use the perk very effectively because the stun lancer just ran in, did his parkour thing, and then zapped up my guy. So I took a lot of damage on the first turn, but I do have a lot of med kits with me because I've done, like I said, I've done this mission so many times, and every time I do it, I get damaged, and then I get to the end of the mission like 30 minutes later, and nobody has any health left. So I've got, everybody got med kits this time. And there you go, taking out Mr. Parkour. That's what I'm going to call the Stun Lancers from now on. It's Mr. Parkour. Every unit I'm going to try and give, all of the special units I'm going to try and give them special names. So the Stun Lancer is Mr. Parkour. The Faceless is the big pink Hulk, a.k.a. Pinky. What else do we have? I think those are the only two that... No. The Sectoid is the Necromancer. The Viper, I don't know what we'll call the Viper yet, but if anybody can think of a cool nickname for the Viper, like the Tongue Master or something, then let me know in the comments, and I'll start calling the Viper something crazy. But for now, I guess I'll call it the Tongue Master. But I don't really like that one, so help me out with it. Okay, I'm talking over Central and Lady Shen right now. But what they're saying is this is an Advent rail network, right? They've got trains set up all over the world now. And those trains, what they ferry are bodies, right? Those are bodies. The aliens are still abducting people. And from the looks of things, they've never stopped. I've heard that so many times that I can almost recite it word for word. So the aliens are still abducting people, and they're bringing the bodies to these black sites, and they're doing bad things with them. Well, maybe not bad things. I mean, it's weird, right? Because they've since the aliens came to Earth in the XCOM universe, they've cured all diseases, and they've ended poverty and stuff. I think, and they've done a lot of interesting things, but at the same time, we can't have that. We can't have that because they're aliens, and we have to cure disease ourselves. They can't do it for us, so we got to get them out. We got to get them out of here. We got to get them out. I'm not trying to sympathize with these aliens. Get them out of here. Shoot them. Blow them up. Do what you got to do. Because they just came in and they started blowing people up and abducting people, and that's not what you want. That's not what you want. Okay, so once again, Central is talking about the bodies and the rail network, but that's actually insignificant. It's sort of just a plot point. But what I'm doing right now is I'm tossing out the battle scanner, throwing that thing like a football. Captain America Brian Arnold was on the football team, so he can throw that battle scanner really far. And there is a turret on top of the building. The Advent turrets are not that dangerous because for some reason they have ridiculously bad aim. I feel like on any given moment, the turret has about a 50% chance to hit you, even if you're just wide in the open. And oh, here we go. Let's take a nice look at that black site. It's just black. They're just running it on coal. They've got Illyrium and all sorts of special technology, but no, fuck that. We're using coal to power this thing. That's how you know it's evil. Every evil building needs to run on coal, because coal just produces that black smoke that makes it look really evil. But yeah, so the turrets, they're not that dangerous just because they have such a ridiculously low % chance to hit for some reason. I'm not sure why, but what I am sure about is that I just activated the turret. I'm now in range of the turret, so it sees me, and I am also in range of the Sectoid squad, or the Sectopod. It's a Sectopod because it's the pod of sectoids, aka the Necropod, and that's actually kind of dangerous. 3 sectoids in the same pack is pretty dangerous. I don't have mind shields on everybody. What I have been doing lately is I've been leaving the mind shield on one particular soldier, usually the ranger, because when the ranger gets taken over by the sectoid, it's just ridiculous because they have a shotgun and it's so powerful. They'll just get up in somebody's grill and just point blank just completely eviscerate them, and I can't have that. So I've been putting the mind shield on at least one soldier in every mission from now, and it's actually been working out pretty well. I didn't think in the last mission, I was wondering, Jane Kelly had the mind shield on, and I was like, well, is it really going to be helpful to just put a mind shield on a random person? Believe it or not, it is. This isn't a guide or a tutorial series, but I'm going to give you that tip. If you play XCOM, put a mind shield on just one random person, preferably a ranger. And now things are getting really sticky and icky because I've activated another pod. We've got the mech, and we've got 2 Advent troops. I'm in trouble here. I'm in trouble. I don't like what's going on. I've got 6 enemies staring down my neck. The turret's out of range at this point, so it's kind of not really a concern. But I'm afraid right now. So I'm gonna try and buff up my guys with the aid protocol. Aid protocol is a really useful tool to buff up your soldiers. That extra defense is it's just adding a little bit of extra RNG to yourself, giving you a little extra protection. Boom, taking an Overwatch shot. I'm using new guns. I didn't even mention that I have new guns and new armor. Well, I have a new shotgun and new armor. This is the Predator armor. This is the 2nd tier of armor that you get. It gives your soldiers more health. And I don't know if it actually gives them damage resistance. Like, I got a promotion. I don't know if it gives them damage resistance or anything like that, but it does give them more health, and that's very helpful. And I also have the magnetic shotgun. That's the only tier 2 weapon that I have right now. So I'm slightly advanced. I'm getting a little bit better, getting a little bit stronger, and that's a good thing. So the turret is no longer in range, but we've got a lot of other options. There's a lot of there's a ridiculous amount of enemies on the field right now, and that's why you always want to tread carefully. If you activate a pod, you really want to try and deal with that pod before you deal with anything else. But I never do that. I make that mistake all the time, and I'm gonna continue to make that mistake forever. But I'm trying to think, what's the best way to take care of this? Because at this point, I think I did this mission like 15 times. I swear to you. And at this point, I don't want to lose anymore. I've had enough of failing at this particular mission, and I have to get out of this. So I'm cycling through every single soldier, trying to see what has the best chance of hitting, what play can I make to get out of this situation. And I think that's one of the cooler things about XCOM and turn-based games in general, is that you can really take the time to figure out what is going to be the best play. And right there, I tried to use an ability called Demolish, and what that does is it'll destroy the enemy's cover, and it didn't work. It missed. It does have a chance to miss from what I've seen. So that was not the play that I should have made. But you live and you learn, I guess. So, putting my guys on Overwatch. I tend to put people on Overwatch when I don't know what to do, because my guys are in covered positions, so they are protected for the most part. But it's not good. I'm not in a good situation. My heart is racing. I'm uncomfortable. But yeah, strategy games, they give you that time to really think about each move and say, okay, what can I do that would be the best? You're shooting at somebody in full cover, dude. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I can guarantee it. Just like Men's Warehouse. Look at that. Full cover is amazing. It's not flawless, but when it works, it works. And it's unfortunate that they're not actually making any moves until now. Now we're getting those Overwatch shots, but it's gonna miss. Sector, he's like, oh my god, they're shooting at me, bro. They're shooting at me. Boom. That shotgun is very powerful. As you can see, it just crumbled the entire building. So now the sectoid is exposed, but he's gonna sprint and go somewhere, and now he's in better cover. The sectoid squad is not being too dangerous. They're doing their regular necromancer things, but they're not making any really big plays right now. And I'm very happy about that, because this Necropod, it has the potential to just ruin everything. Oh my god, it's being aggressive and taking shots at me, and I don't like that. But it missed, so there you go. The sectoid, I very rarely see the sectoid take shots at people. So it's always kind of a surprise when it does. But okay, so right now, Brian Arnold, he's been mind controlled. And that sucks, because I need him. So I need to kill the sectoid that is mind controlling him. That's number one. That's rule number one. I need to kill the sectoid that is mind controlling him. Objective number 2, get rid of that sectopod. Necropod. Sectoid pod. Necromancer pod Necropod. That's what we're calling it. Any group of 3 sectoids, Necropod. So we got to get rid of the Necropod. So we're chucking grenades. We're just doing everything we can to get rid of it. And then after that, once you kill the sectoid that's mind controlling somebody, it frees up the guy that's being mind controlled, and you get to take your full turn with him. So I want to get him free. I want to get him free because I don't need it. I need that sniper. I need Captain America. So here we go. Launching that grenade. Get it ready. Boom. Making moves out here. So that sectoid has almost been completely taken care of, the one that's mind controlling Brian Arnold, but it hasn't. We're still in a bad situation though. It's not been fully rectified. So we're gonna move our Ranger, try and get into a better spot, and now there it is. We see him. And now the question is, how do we take him out, right? Do we run in and slash and put ourselves in a very vulnerable position, or do we take that shot? Do we roll that dice and pray to the RNG gods that it hits? Well, let's find out. We're going for the slash. Here we go. Messing with the wrong one. Dead. And there we go. So, the Ranger, it's a tricky thing, because now she is flanked by 2 sectoids. But it's a reasonable risk because the sectoid is not a very aggressive unit. But here we go. Brian Arnold has been freed up. I'm going to use Deadeye. It reduces my chance to hit, but it greatly increases the damage of the shot. Look at those rolls. Oh my goodness. Just critical, just instant killing the sectoid. Granted, that could have gone poorly, because if the shot would have missed, then that wouldn't have killed the sectoid, and I wouldn't have gotten any damage off, versus the 100% chance to hit. That would have gotten some damage at least, and then it would have put me in a better position for the next turn. But you know, so sometimes you just got to roll the dice. And there was something on fire over there, and I didn't move out. Did I move out the way? Yeah, there was nobody in there. I lied. There was one guy standing pretty close to that, but he didn't get hurt. He wasn't directly on top of the explosion. But we're experiencing some technical difficulties, so we're going to have to fast forward a little bit, so we will be right back. For just 50 payments of $19.95, you could have your very own Advent Blacksite. Call within the next 5 minutes and you get this $30 value for free. It is an automated turret and no base is complete. Okay, we're back, and that little technical difficulty was not XCOM related. That was potato computer related. My computer is not that good. Graphics card, pretty low end, but you know, it's enough to get the job done. I'm not playing this on anywhere close to the maximum settings. You know, but it is what it is. You know, eventually, you know, when I have $2,000 lying around, I'm gonna get that super Alienware, and then maybe I'll be able to play The Division. It's great. It's so fantastic. But anyway, so we're still dealing with this pack. There's still a couple of guys left, and we just got to take them out. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to, because Brian Arnold, he's in that elevated position. He's got incredible accuracy because he's a sniper, number one. Number two, he has a scope equipped to his gun, so that's increasing his accuracy even more. And there you go. He's taking people out. And he said he found something. He dropped something. Brian Arnold got swagger, man. He's my favorite character, and I'm really trying so hard to bring him to the end, all the way through my playthrough. I want him to survive. I really want him to survive. And here we go. So there's one trooper just standing around, just kind of being a tool, and we're gonna try and take this guy out. We might have to make a big play if we really want to take him out. And I think that's what's gonna have to happen here. So we're gonna move in to flank him. Sort of hoping for a critical hit here, but we're not going to get it because that's how RNG works. But, you know, you try. But, you know, the thing is, we do have our Ranger left in a good position to just run in and slash him up. Don't even have to worry about, you know, RNG too much. It's just 94% chance to hit him with that slash. Yeah, that's basically 100%. But in the world of XCOM, that anything could happen. But for now, we're going to take a little break because we've still got a whole nother half of this mission to go. So if you want to see how the rest of this mission goes, just tune in next time, which will be very soon. We do uploads every other day here at iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. So if you like this stuff, there's always going to be more right around the corner. So once again, thank you for watching iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. I hope you enjoyed it because I definitely enjoyed making it. Boom.